Today we are reading chapter number 9 of CA Final Audit, that is nothing but the related services. So, what is related services all about? What will be the learning outcomes? After studying this chapter, we all will be able to understand that what will be the meaning of related service. We will know about what is actually the standards on related service. Understand what will be the nature of AUP. AUP is what? AUP is the agreed upon procedure. We will gain knowledge about the SRS 4400. That is nothing but the engagement to perform the agreed upon procedure regarding the financial information. We will understand the reporting requirement of SRS 4400, understand the meaning and nature of compilation. So in this chapter, we actually what we need to study, that is the essay, that is SRS 4400. 4400 is nothing but the engagement, that the AUP regarding the financial information. So what will be the engagement to perform the agreed upon procedures regarding the financial information, SRS 4400. Then 4410 is nothing but the compilation engagement. We will able to gain the knowledge about the SRS 4410, that is the compilation engagement, understand the reporting requirement of SRS 4410. So what is basically the audit of related services? Audit related services, that is nothing but the SRS standards on relating services 4400 and 4410. तो 4400 जो हमारा 4400 है, that is the engagement to perform agreed upon procedures regarding the, हम factual findings पे बताएंगे what will be our agreed upon procedures regarding the financial information, and 4410 हम चीजों को compile करेंगे, that is nothing but the compilation engagement. The Trans Multi Product Limited is engaged here in the business of selling ethnic items. It involves procuring of myriad stocks ranging from the brasswares, wooden to handloom for home furnishing and exotic handicrafts through a chain of dealers who in turn purchase this item directly from the artisans, weaver and teeny enterprises. Since procurement is done at a multiple locations all over the country, the company has set up an extensive system of inventory control. Considering the huge inventory at multiple locations and associated risk, it requires CSHAN to undertake an exercise involving the physical verification of inventory and its reconciliation with the inventory records for a handsome professional fee. The management also offers suitable staff resources support to perform what will be the required procedure. Such an exercise has to be performed in accordance with the prevailing professional standards, and management want to report in accordance with the professional standards which is applicable to such engagements. Drawn to such a work due to attractive fee offers, Shan is on two boards. At the first place, is thinking whether such engagement can be accepted at all. If it is to be accepted, what should be the expected form and content of the report? Since engagement is to be performed in accordance with professional standard, SA 501 instantly come to his mind. Immediately, a pack-up of thoughts treated this as a 501 applies to audit of financial statement in part for obtaining audit evidence which is pertaining to existence in a condition of inventory. Since it is not to conduct audit of financial statement of company, how can SA 501 be applicable? However, the outlook of assignment appeared to involve application of procedure of an audit nature for performing it. Is there any standard for such type of engagement involving performing an agreed upon procedure where factual findings are to be reported? Where such engagement would be in the nature of assurance engagement or not? Why does company need such a type of report? Refining his search, he stumbled upon the standards on a related service, that is nothing but the SRS 4400. Sitting in his air-conditioned office in one sweltering afternoon in Kolkata, he is approached by a client to help it prepare its financial statement. The client is agreeing to provide trial balance and other required information. However, herein lies in the catch. Not only client requires his assistant in preparation and presentation of financial statement, but a compilation report is also required. A similar question struck his mind, whether such a compilation report would be in the nature of assurance report. What kind of responsibility are entrusted to a professional accountant while preparing such an engagement? So, chartered accountant in practice are often asked to provide the services to client who do not involve the expression of opinion on the truth. तो इन दी SRS में हम अपनी opinion express नहीं कर रहे हैं on the truth and fairness of financial statement. For the purpose of standardizing the procedures to perform such a kind of known assurance, this is SRS nothing but the known assurance services. The AASB of ICI issue two standards on two different services, that is the standards on related services. The following standards have been issued under the standards on related service as far as 4400, that is the engagement to perform the agreed upon procedure regarding the financial information. As far as 4410, that is nothing but the compilation engagement. What are the related services? So related service usually we provide the assurance, we provide the opinion on the true and fairness of the financial statement. But what are actually the related service kya hai? Assurance engagement means an engagement in which the practitioner expresses a conclusion which is designed to enhance, यहाँ पे क्या होगा, enhance होगा the degree of confidence of the intended user. तो हम क्या currently we are reading that is the related service. Related. अब now we are bifurcating what is assurance services and what will be the non assurance. So what actually assurance engagement क्या होता है? It means an engagement in which a practitioner expresses a conclusion. Under assurance engagement में तो हम ideally we expressing our conclusion which is designed to enhance the degree of confidence of the intended user other than the responsible party about the outcome of evaluation and measurement of subject matter against the criteria. It means that the practitioner gives an opinion about what are the specific information to which the users of information are able to make confident decision knowing well that chance of information is being incorrect is diminished. Not all engagement performed by the practitioners are assurance engagement. So currently we are rating the standards which is based on the non-assurance engagement because not all the engagements are assurance engagement. Other frequently performed engagement that do not meet the definition of assurance engagement that includes. तो हम क्या बोल रहे हैं जैसे कि preparation of tax return where no conclusion conveying assurance is expressed. So while preparing the tax return there is not any assurances involved there. The preparation of tax return where no conclusion conveying assurance is expressed. Consulting or advisory engagement such as management and tax consultancy, again it is a known assurance kind of engagement. Engagement covered by the standards for related services such as agreed upon procedures, engagement and a compilation of financial and other information. The above engagement are in the nature of related services. What are agreed upon? तो हम क्या बोलते हैं? Where there is a no assurance engagement, there are nothing but the related services. Whereas in standards on auditing, we provide the assurance, we provide the opinion about the true and fair view of the financial statement. Whereas in non-assurance engagement, for example, the tax returns, for example, the management and tax consulting, for example, that where such an agreed upon procedures engagement and compilation of financial and other information. The above engagement are in the nature of related services. Now, what will be the agreed upon procedures? Agreed upon procedures can an engagement to perform the agreed upon procedure. The auditor is engaged by the client to issue a report of factual finding. वो अपने पास factual findings दे जो कि based होगा on specified procedures which is performed on a specified subject matter or specified elements, accounts or items of financial statement. So what are the AUP? AUP is what? Agreed upon procedure in the engagement. This is what? This is something which is known assurance engagement where the auditor is engaged by the client to issue a report on a factual finding which is based on a specified procedures which is performed on a specified subject matter on a specified element, accounts or items of financial statement. For example, an engagement to perform the agreed upon procedure may require the auditor to perform the certain procedures concerning individual items of financial data, say accounts payable, account receivable, purchase from related party, sales and profit of a segment of an entity or a financial statement, say a balance sheet or even a complete set of financial statement. However, a person performing the related service need not necessarily be the auditor of the entity. जरूरी नहीं कि वो auditor हो financial statement का, तो he can be any person. 4400, that is the engagement to perform the agreed upon procedures regarding the financial information. As far as that the standards on related service 4400 provides the guidance on auditors professional responsibilities when an engagement to perform the agreed upon procedure regarding the financial information is undertaken, and on the form and a content of report that the auditor issue in connection with such an engagement. What will be the objective in accordance with SRS 4400? The objective of an agreed upon procedure engagement is for auditor to carry out the procedure of audit nature to which the auditor and the entity and any appropriate third party have agreed to report on the factual findings. As the auditor simply provides a report of factual finding of agreed upon procedure, no assurance is provided by him in his report. Instead, user of report assesses for themselves the procedures and what will be the findings reported by auditor, draw their own conclusion from the work done by the auditor. The report is usually restricted to those parties that have agreed to the procedures to be performed, since they are unaware of the reason for procedures may misinterpret the results. जो ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है ऑफ एन एयूपी, दैट इज द एग्रीड अपॉन प्रोसीजर्स का, that is to carry out what will be the procedure of audit nature to which the auditor and the entity and any appropriate third party have agreed to report on the factual finding. Here there is a no assurances provided in such a report. Such AUP engagement are known assurance. The AUP जो agreed upon procedure है, that are nothing but the known assurance engagement. Now if we bifurcate the things between the audit and agreed upon procedures, so what actually happened under the audit and what is exactly the agreed upon procedures? The key difference between an audit and agreed upon procedures is related to assurance. So all the bifurcation is based on the assurance, whether the engagement is assurance or non-assurance engagement. An audit expresses, in case of audit, what you do actually, that is expressing an opinion, provide assurance to the user. However, in agreed upon procedure engagement, only a report of factual finding. What will you issue? That is that you will only draft a report on the factual findings of agreed upon procedure is provided. No assurance is given to the user, कोई assurance नहीं दी जाती. Instead, user they draw their own conclusion based on the factual finding. So what you probably do, that you will draft a report on a factual findings where you do not draft any conclusion. User will draw their own conclusion which is based on the factual stated in report. For example, like agreed upon procedure engagement है, वो evaluate करता है क्या, the validity, what will be the validity of accounts payable may state the following. Compare किया जाएगा of the name of major suppliers and the amount outstanding as on the date of the related names and amounts in their balances. So for example, an agreed upon procedure engagement to ensure, ये क्या किया जाता है इसमें, an agreed upon procedure engagement to evaluate. Here there is a validity of accounts payable may state the following. You need to compare of the name of the major suppliers and amount of outstanding as on the date to the related names and amount in their trial balance. Obtaining supplier statement and a confirmation from suppliers to confirm balances which is outstanding as on the date. Comparison of such a statement or confirmation to the amount in their trial balance. Then further जो audit जो actual findings होती है, like a variation in a balance reflected in a trial balance and a statement of confirmation are given. The actual finding are reported as such without providing an assurance. What are the general principle of the agreed upon procedures engagement के general principle क्या है? That is nothing, integrity, objectivity, then the professional competence in due care, confidentiality, professional conduct, technical standards. The general principle of an agreed upon procedure engagement, the auditor should comply with all the code of ethics issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, ethical principle governing the auditor's professional responsibility. For this type of engagement include the integrity, objectivity, professional competence, due care, confidentiality, professional conduct, and the technical standard. Integrity, objectivity, professional competence, and due care, confidentiality, professional conduct, technical standards, and all. This is a code of ethics issued by the ICI. Independence is not a requirement for agreed upon procedures. May you do not make sure about the independence. However, the terms or objective engagement may require the auditor to comply with the independence requirement of a code of ethics issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. Where the auditor is not independent, a statement to the effect that should be made in the report of factual finding. Now you need to define the terms of engagement. Auditor should ensure with the representative of the entity and ordinarily other specified party who will receive the copies of report or factual findings. There is a clear understanding regarding the agreed upon procedure and what are the conditions of the engagement. What are the matters to be included in the following? कौन से matters we need to take into consideration, that is what will be the nature of engagement क्या है, including the fact कि जो भी procedure है perform will not constitute an audit or a review and that accordingly no assurance will be expressed. So already we are telling that this is a known assurance engagement. So obviously there will be not the question of opinion. So nature of the engagement, including the fact that the procedure जो भी perform will not constitute an audit. Neither it is audit nor it is review. So we are standards on related service. तो ना तो audit है ना review है, that accordingly no assurance will be expressed. तो कोई assurance नहीं है. Stated purpose, what is the purpose क्या है for the engagement? Identification of the financial information to which the agreed upon procedure will be applied. What will be the nature, timing and extent के होगा, specific procedures to be applied, and limitation on distribution of report or factual finding. When such a limitation would be in a conflict with the legal requirement, if any, the auditor would not accept the engagement. If it in the interest of both the client and the auditor that the auditor sent an engagement letter documenting what are the key terms of appointment, an engagement letter confirm that the auditor acceptance of appointment and helps avoid misunderstanding regarding the matters, what are the objective and scope of the engagement, the extent of auditor's responsibility and form of the report to be issued, matter that would be included in the engagement letter, that may listing of the procedures what is to be performed as an agreed upon between the parties, and a statement that distribution of report of factual finding would be restricted to the specified parties who have agreed to the procedures to be performed. जो auditor है वो plan करेगा the work so that an effective engagement will be performed. Then comes to the procedures and evidence. तो auditor जो है should carry out करेगा what will be the procedures agreed upon and the use of evidence obtained as a basis for report of factual finding. जो भी procedures applied होंगे in an engagement to perform the agreed upon procedures may include the inquiry and analysis, recomputation, comparison and other clerical accuracy checks, then observation, inspections, obtaining confirmation. Procedures, what are the procedures performed upon agreed upon procedures, engagement, inquiry and analysis, recomputation, comparison and other clerical accuracy check. Observation, inspection, so there is no question of the analytical procedure is not included under the SRS. Then आता है हमारा reporting. So the report of an agreed upon procedures engagement need to describe what will be the purpose and the agreed upon procedure of engagement in sufficient detail to enable the reader to understand that the nature and extent of work performed. The report should clearly mention that no auditor review has been performed. What will be the report क्या होगा? Factual findings should contain. So the report finding is common in all the SRE, SRS, but we need to learn only of the SA 700. The title क्या है? Then title, addressee, ordinarily who will be the appointing authority, identification of the special who are the special financial and non-financial information to which the agreed upon procedure have been applied. A statement कि जो भी procedure perform की है were those agreed upon with the recipient. A statement that the engagement was performed in accordance with the standards on related service जो कि applicable है to the agreed upon procedures engagement. Identification, what is the purpose for which the agreed upon procedure will be performed. A listing of the specific procedures performed, a description of auditor's factual finding including the sufficient details of errors and exceptions found. A statement that procedure performed do not constitute either an audit or review, such as no assurance, ये क्या है, known assurance is expressed. A statement that the auditor perform की गई है, उसने additional जो भी procedure and audit or a review other matter might have come to light that would have been reported. A statement that report जो है that the same is restricted है to those parties that have agreed to procedures to be performed. A statement when applicable that the report जो है relate करेगी only to the elements, accounts, items of financial and non-financial information जो भी specify है, and it does not extend to the entity's financial statement taken as a whole. Date of the report क्या है? What will be the place of signature and the auditor's signature? Then moving further, that is the documentation. Now, obviously, we need to document certain things, that auditor shall document matters which are important in providing evidence to support the report of factual findings and evidence that the engagement was carried out in accordance with this SRS and the terms of engagement. A company जो है that the same ask you to carry out the process of confirmation. You need to confirm of its account receivable which is having the balance in excess of rupees 10 lakh as per its books of accounts at the close of the year. The work to be performed only involves preparing and sending confirmation requests to such a party, analysis of variation on receipt of confirmation, and submission of report in accordance with professional standard. What point we need to keep in mind for inclusion in a report, especially for the engagement? Test your understanding का question number 1. So the described engagement is an agreed upon procedures engagement. Following point we need to keep in mind for being included in the report. A statement that the जो भी procedure perform की गई है were those agreed upon with the recipient. कि जो भी प्रोसीजर परफॉर्म कर रही है वो दोस्त जो भी एग्रीड हुआ था विद द रेसिपिएंट. अ स्टेटमेंट एंड एंगेजमेंट जो है परफॉर्म की गई है इन अकॉर्डेंस विद द स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन रिलेटेड सर्विस जो कि एप्लीकेबल है टू द एग्रीड अपॉन प्रोसीजर्स एंगेजमेंट. Identification of the purpose for which the agreed upon procedures were performed, a listing of the specific procedures performed, a description of auditor's factual finding including the sufficient detail of errors and exceptions found, a statement that the procedure performed do not constitute either an audit or review such as no assurance is expressed, a statement that the auditor has performed the additional procedures an audit or review other might have come to light that would have been reported, a statement that the report is restricted to those parties that have agreed to the procedures to be performed, a statement that report relate only to the element what are the element account items or financial and non-financial information which is specified that it does not extend to the entity's financial statement taken as a whole. So with this we have covered SRS 4400. Now SRS 4410, that is the compilation engagement when we need to compile each and everything. Now what is compilation engagement? With the practitioner's responsibility when engaged to assist the management with the preparation and presentation of historical financial information without obtaining any assurance on that information and to report an engagement in accordance with this SRS. ये applies होगा to the compilation engagement for historical financial information. Compilation engagement for financial information other than the historical financial information and compilation engagement for non-financial information can be performed under these standards after necessary adaptation. SQC1 is applicable to all engagement standards. SRS 4410 is one of the engagement SQC1 applies to firm in respect of firm's compilation engagement too. What is compilation engagement? क्या होता है? Compilation engagement is an engagement in which a practitioner applies the accounting and financial reporting expertise to assist management in preparation and presentation of financial information of an entity in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework and issues a report. Management may request a professional accountant in a public practice to assist with the preparation and presentation of financial information of an entity. Financial information that is the subject of compilation engagement may be required for various purposes, including we need to comply with the mandatory periodic financial reporting requirement so that we establish a law and regulation if any, and for a purpose unrelated to mandatory financial reporting under relevant law and regulation including, for example, for management or those charged with governance prepared on a basis of appropriate for their particular purpose such as preparation of financial information for internal use, for periodic financial reporting undertaken for external parties under contract or a form of agreement such as financial information provided to a funding body to support the provision and continuation of a grant. For transactional purpose, for example, support a transaction that involving the change to the entity's ownership or financing structure, such as for the merger or acquisition. A compilation engagement is not an assurance engagement. A compilation engagement does not require the practitioner to verify the accuracy and completeness of the information provided by the management for compilation. Otherwise, to gather evidence, to express an audit opinion, or to review conclusion on the preparation of financial information. What will be the objectives क्या होगा in accordance with SRS 4410? The practitioner का जो objective होता है ना compilation engagement के regard में with SRS R2 objective में क्या होता है compilation engagement that you need to apply the accounting and financial reporting expertise to assist the management in a preparation and presentation of financial information. You need to report in accordance with the requirement of this SRS. So you need to apply what will be the accounting and financial reporting expertise so that you will assist your management in preparation and presentation of financial information in accordance with the applicable financial reporting, which is based on the information provided by the management. You will report in accordance with the requirement of the SRS. What will be the scope? क्या होगा? Compilation engagement. The scope of compilation engagement that may vary depending on the circumstances of the engagement. However, in every case, it will involve assisting management in a preparation and presentation of entities' financial information in accordance with the financial reporting framework, which is based on information provided by management. In some compilation engagement, management may have already prepared the financial information itself in a draft or a preliminary form. Management retains responsibility for the financial information and the basis on which it is prepared and presentation. The responsibility that includes application by management of judgment required for the presentation and preparation of financial information that include what will be the how there will be the selection and application of appropriate accounting policy and where needed developing the reasonable accounting estimates. Different financial reporting framework can be used किया जा सकता है to prepare and present the financial information, ranging from a simple entity-specific basis of accounting to establish the financial reporting standard. The financial reporting framework adopted by the management to prepare and present the financial information that will depend on the nature of entity and what will be the intended use of the information. Now moving forward, that is the ethical requirement. Ethical requirement, when it comes to the ethical requirement, that is nothing but the you need to be independent and what are the code of ethics need to be followed. The practitioner shall comply karega with all the ethical requirements, and in complying with the code of ethics, threat to the practitioner compliance with the relevant ethical requirement are required to be identified and appropriately addressed. Being a nature of non-assurance engagement, independence requirement do not apply to compilation engagement. ऐसे directly तो नहीं लगता. However, laws and regulation may specify that there is a requirement or discloses rules to the pertaining to the independence. Engagement, acceptance and continuance. Engagement, acceptance and continuance क्या है? The practitioner shall not accept the engagement unless the practitioner has agreed the terms of engagement with management and engaging party if different, including what will be the intended use and distribution of financial information and any restriction on their use or its distribution where applicable. Identification कैसे होगा applicable financial reporting framework का? What will be the objective and scope क्या है compilation engagement का? Responsibility क्या practitioner including the requirement you need to comply with the relevant ethical requirement and what will be the responsibility of management for? मैनेजमेंट जो है वो रिस्पॉन्सिबल है फॉर द फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन फॉर द प्रिपरेशन एंड प्रेजेंटेशन देयरफॉर द फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग फ्रेमवर्क that is acceptable in a view of intended use of financial information and the intended users. You need to design, implement, maintenance of internal control as necessary to enable the preparation of financial statement जो कि free हो from the material from misstatement whether due to fraud and error. What will the accuracy and completeness of records document? यहाँ पे तो मिसिंग है, मिक्स हो गया है ये तो. And judgment needed in the preparation and presentation of financial information, including those for which the practitioner may provide assistance in course of compilation engagement. What will be the expected form and content? क्या होगा practitioner की report का? जो practitioner है वो record करेगा what will be the agreed terms of engagement in an engagement letter and other suitable form of written agreement which is prior to performing the engagement. On recurring compilation engagement होता रहेगा तो फिर क्या होगा? The practitioner shall evaluate क्या जो circumstances है including the changes in engagement, acceptance, consideration require the terms of engagement to be revised and whether there is a need to remind the management of the existing terms of engagement. Now performing the engagement. How will you perform the engagement? The practitioner obtain karega understanding of the following matter which are sufficient to perform the compilation engagement. तो एंटिटी का बिजनेस एंड ऑपरेशन इंक्लूडिंग एंटिटी का अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम, अकाउंटिंग रिकॉर्ड्स क्या है, एप्लीकेबल फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग इंक्लूड व्हाट विल बी द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ द एंटिटीज इंडस्ट्री. प्रैक्टिशनर जो है वो कंपाइल करेगा सारी की सारी फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन को यूजिंग द रिकॉर्ड्स, डॉक्यूमेंट, एक्सप्लेनेशन एंड अदर इंफॉर्मेशन इंक्लूडिंग व्हाट आर द सिग्निफिकेंट जजमेंट प्रोवाइडेड बाय द मैनेजमेंट. द प्रैक्टिशनर डिस्कस करेगा मैनेजमेंट के साथ और दोस्त चार्ज विद गवर्नेंस के साथ जो भी अप्रोप्रिएट होगा, जो भी सिग्निफिकेंट जजमेंट है फॉर विच प्रैक्टिशनर हैज प्रोवाइडेड assistance in a course of compilation of financial information. Prior to completion of कंपाइलेशन एंगेजमेंट को परफॉर्म करने से पहले प्रैक्टिशनर जो है वो रीड करेगा द व्हाट विल हु द कंपाइल्ड फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन इन लाइट ऑफ प्रैक्टिशनर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ एंटिटी बिजनेस एंड ऑपरेशन क्या है एंड एप्लीकेबल एफआरएफ क्या है. If in the course of compilation engagement practitioner become aware that the record document explanation और जो भी information थी including the significant judgment provided by the management for compilation engagement are incomplete, inaccurate and otherwise unsatisfactory, the practitioner shall bring to the attention of management and request the additional or corrected information. If the practitioner is unable to complete the engagement because management has failed to provide the records, document, explanation, other information including the significant judgment as requested, practitioner withdraw kar lega from the engagement and inform management and those charged with governance of the reason for what is the reason of withdrawing. If the practitioner becomes aware during the course of engagement that जो compiled financial information है does not adequately refer to or describe the applicable FRF नहीं बता रहे हैं, there are amendment to the compiled financial information required for the financial information need not to be materially misstated and the compiled financial information is otherwise misleading. तो practitioner जो है propose करेगा what will be the appropriate amendment to management. If management decline or does not permit the practitioner to make the proposed amendment to be compiled financial information, the practitioner need to do withdraw kar lo from the engagement and inform the management and TCWG of the reason for withdrawing. If withdrawal from the engagement is not possible, the practitioner shall determine what will be the professional, what will be the PLR, what will be the professional and legal responsibilities applicable in the circumstances. The practitioner shall obtain an acknowledgement from management and TCWG with the governance as appropriate. They have taken responsibility for the final version of the compiled financial information. Then you need to communicate with management and TCWG. The practitioner जो है वो communicate करेगा management से TCWG से जो भी appropriate होंगे on a timely basis during the course of compilation engagement. जो भी matter concerning the compilation engagement that in the practitioner's professional judgment are of sufficient importance to merit the attention of management and TCWG as appropriate. Then moving further, that is the practitioner report. एक important purpose जो होता है practitioner report is to clearly communicate what will be the nature of compilation engagement, the practitioner role and responsibility engagement. The practitioner report is not a vehicle to express an opinion or a conclusion on financial information in any form. The practitioner का report जो है that issue for the compilation engagement shall be in a writing and shall include again the same elements, that is the report title, that addressee is required by the terms of engagement, statement that the practitioner has compiled the financial information based on the information provided by management, a description of responsibility of management and TCWG जो भी appropriate है in relation to the compilation engagement and in relation to the financial information. उसके बाद आप identify कीजिए what will be the applicable FRF if for a special purpose framework is use a description to reference to the description of that special purpose financial reporting framework and the financial information. Identification of financial information including the titles of each element of financial information if it comprises more than one element, the date of financial information and the period to which it relates. A description of the practitioner's responsibility in compiling the financial information including that the engagement was performed in accordance with the SRS that the practitioner has compiled with the relevant ethical requirement. A description of what a compilation engagement entails in according with this SRS. Explanation that since a compilation engagement is not an assurance engagement, the practitioner is not required to verify the accuracy and completeness of information provided by the management for the compilation. Accordingly, the practitioner does not express an audit opinion or a review conclusion on whether the financial information is prepared in accordance with the FRA. If the financial information is prepared using a special purpose financial reporting framework, an explanatory paragraph that describe what will be the purpose क्या होगा for which the financial information is prepared, if necessary the intended user content of reference to a note in a financial information that discloses this information, draws the attention of readers of the report to the fact that financial information is prepared in accordance with a special purpose framework. As a result, the information may not be suitable for other purpose. What will be the date of practitioner report, practitioner signature and a place of signature. What will be the engagement level quality control? Engagement partner shall take responsibility for what will be the overall quality of each compilation engagement to which that partner is assigned and the engagement being performed in accordance with the firm's quality control policies and procedure. डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में क्या आएगा फर्दर? Documentation, the practitioner shall include in the engagement documentation what are the significant matter arising during the compilation engagement and how those matter were addressed by the practitioner. A record of how the compiled financial information reconcile with the understanding record, document, explanation and other information provided by the management. A copy of the final version of a compiled financial information for management or TCWG as appropriate has acknowledged their responsibility and the practitioner report. जो practitioner है वो consider करेगा including in the engagement documentation a copy of entities, trial balance, summary of significant accounting record and other information that the practitioner used to perform the compilation. Then during the course of performing a compilation engagement in accordance with SRS 4410, it becomes known to you that the client has suffered a theft losses of 100 lakh of its inventory over a period of time as storage location visited infrequently. A claim was lodged by the client with the insurance company which was repudiated due to certain financial reasons relating to coverage of policy. The client has not preferred a complaint or an appeal against said repudiation. The amount is reflected under the hard current asset in its trial balance of client. Discuss how should you proceed to deal with the matter. केम लिमिटेड हैज एंगेज योर फर्म, तो हमें पहले इसका आंसर करना है कि during the course of performing a compilation engagement in accordance with this, it become known to the client that suffered a theft of losses of 100 lakh of its inventory over a period of time at a storage location visited infrequently. A claim was lodged by the client with the insurance company which was repudiated due to certain technical reasons relating to coverage policy. The client has not preferred a complaint or an appeal against that repudiation. The amount is reflected under the hard current asset in a trial balance. Discuss how should you proceed with the deal with the matter. So test your understanding का question number 2. इन दिस इंस्टेंट केस अमाउंट ऑफ जो 100 लाख का अमाउंट है वो रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहा है अंडर द हार्ड करंट एसेट इन ट्रायल बैलेंस. सिंस अवर क्लाइंट क्लेम हैज बीन repudiated and no appeal has been preferred, it is a loss for the client and should be dealt with accordingly. Therefore amendment are required for the financial information not to be materially misstated. If the practitioner become aware during the course of engagement that amendment to compile financial information are required for the financial information and not to be materially misstated, or the compilation financial information is otherwise misleading, the practitioner shall propose the appropriate amendment to management. If management decline or does not permit the practitioner to make a proposed amendment to the compiled financial information, the practitioner shall withdraw from the engagement and inform management and TCWG of the reason of withdrawing. If withdrawal from the engagement is not possible, then the practitioner shall determine what are the professional and legal responsibility which is applicable in the given circumstances. So we have covered the test your understanding knowledge question number 2. KM Limited has engaged your firm for compilation of financial statement in accordance with the requirement of SRS 4410. You also come to know that the company is setting up a new unit in Rourkela, Odisha. The company management has provided you with a draft trial balance and required assistance in a preparation and presentation of its financial statement for the year ended 31 March 2024. The management requires such a preparation and presentation for its internal use during the course of engagement. It is noticed that there are apparent error in a few opening balance brought forward from previous year relating to some outstanding incentives receivable from government authority. This have been swapped with some other balance and trial balance. However, there were no credit transaction in such incentives accounts and account whose balance have been swapped during the year. One of the team members suggests that it is one of the duty to ensure that the revenue figures stated in the trial balance at least are verified to ensure that all the revenue required to be booked by the company have in fact been booked. It is also suggested by the team member that even though it is a compilation engagement, quality control aspect like adhering to appropriate standards needed to be followed. Before signing and issuing report under SRS 4410, you once again read the financial information. It comes to your notice that figure relating to setting up of a new unit of a company coming in a Rourkela in Orissa have not been properly disclosed in a compiled financial statement. The expenditure was incurred from a bank account maintained in a Rourkela and was omitted to shown under appropriate head. You are vacillating regarding about considering scope of compilation engagement. The team has prepared detailed documentation during the course of engagement. Keeping in view above the answer the following question. In respect of errors in a sum of the opening balance notice as described in a case which one of the following statement is most appropriate. Such error should straight away lead to qualification of a report to be issued. Such error should be brought to the knowledge of management. Knowledge of such type of error has no effect on compilation of ethical requirements by the firm. The above said matter relates to SA-510, that is initial audit engagement opening balance, and has no effect on reporting obligation in a compilation engagement. तो फर्स्ट का आंसर क्या होगा? आंसर टू इंटीग्रेटेड केस सिनेरियो, इसको हम लिख लेते हैं कहीं. फर्स्ट का आंसर है फर्स्ट का आंसर है आंसर टू इंटीग्रेटेड केस सिनेरियो. फर्स्ट का आंसर है बी. फर्स्ट का आंसर है बी. तो हम क्या बोलते हैं? इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ एरर्स इन सम ऑफ द ओपनिंग बैलेंस नॉट इज एज डिस्क्राइब इन केस which of the following statement is most appropriate. Such error should be brought to the knowledge of management. हमें किसको बताना चाहिए? मैनेजमेंट को. देन उसके बाद आता है हमारा सेकंड वाला. एज रिगार्ड द सजेशन ऑफ वन ऑफ द टीम मेंबर्स रिगार्डिंग द वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ ऑल रेवेन्यू ऑफ अ कंपनी, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट कौन सा सबसे ज्यादा अप्रोप्रिएट होगा? तो सेकंड का आंसर है हमारा, सेकंड का है सी. सेकंड का आंसर है हमारा सी. As regards suggestion, one of the team members regarding the verification of all revenue of a company, which of the following statement is most appropriate? Suggestion of team member is not proper as verifying the accuracy and completeness of information provided by the management is not required. Such engagement में ये चीजें थोड़ा चाहिए as required the one of the team member regarding the verification of all revenue, which of the following estimate? Suggestion of team member is not proper as verifying the accuracy and completeness of information provided by management is not required in such engagement. In view of the team member's suggestion relating to adherence to appropriate standards for quality control, which of the following statement is relevant in the context of above said engagement? अब हमारा थर्ड का आंसर क्या होगा? थर्ड का आंसर है बी. SQC1 is applicable in this engagement. Which of the following statement is most appropriate as regard omission of expenditure under appropriate head pertaining to Rourkela unit in a compiled financial information? फोर्थ का है हमारा ए. Which of the following statement is most appropriate as regard omission of expenditure under appropriate heading pertaining to Rourkela unit in a compiled financial statement? The above noted omission can be misleading by disregarding such an omission. The fundamental principle of integrity is violated. An engagement cannot be performed in accordance with ethical requirement. The detailed documentation is maintained during the course of compilation engagement. Which of the following statement is most appropriate regarding the assembly of final Engagement file. Final engagement should be assembled in not more than 60 days. Final for should be assembled on a timely basis after the engagement report has been finalized in accordance with the time limit set by the firm. तो देखो ये जो 60 days वाला है ये तो हमारे दूसरे हिस्टोरिकल और जो एश्योरेंस वाले में आता है, इसमें ऐसा कोई डेज का रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, तो द करेक्ट आंसर वुड बी सी होगा. एक बार चेक कर लेते हैं. द करेक्ट आंसर वुड बी सी. नाउ हम ये सारा पढ़ लेते हैं और फिर हम क्वेश्चंस भी पढ़ेंगे. तो व्हाट आर द की टेकअवेज ऑफ दिस chapters? Related service engagement are not assurance engagement. In such a type of engagement, no assurance is provided by the practitioner. In the engagement to perform the agreed upon procedures, the auditor is engaged by the client to issue a report on factual findings based on a specified procedure, perform a specified subject matter of specified element, account, and item of a financial statement. SRS 4400 provide guidance on the auditor's professional responsibility when engagement to perform agreed upon procedures regarding the financial information is undertaken and on the form and the content of report that the auditor issue in connection with such an engagement. Compilation engagement is an engagement in which the practitioner apply accounting and financial reporting expertise to assist management in a preparation and presentation of financial information of an entity in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework and issues a report. SRS 4410 deals with practitioner responsibility when engaged to assist management with the preparation and presentation of historical financial information without obtaining any assurance on that information and to report on the engagement in accordance with this SRS. Engagement documentation has to be maintained for an agreed upon procedures engagement and a compilation engagement. List out the few intended. What are the few purposes of compilation engagement? A chartered accountant is offered appointment for compilation engagement to perform under SRS 4410. Is it required to comply with the ethical requirements of a code of ethics? Discuss briefly. तो ये हमने जो पढ़ा था वही है. How do related service differ from assurance से कैसे different है? Because रिलेटेड सर्विस एश्योरेंस में हम ओपिनियन देते हैं, रिलेटेड में नहीं देते हैं. डिस्कस द मेन डॉक्यूमेंटेशन रिक्वायर्ड टू बी टेकन केयर बाय द प्रैक्टिशनर व्हाइल परफॉर्मिंग अ कंपाइलेशन. डॉक्यूमेंटेशन क्या होता है वो सारा बताना है. CAP has been appointed to compile the financial information of X Limited. CAP is confused whether he should apply the same procedure which are required to be applied to conduct an audit or there are some other procedures to discharge the duty under such an engagement. Define the characteristics of compilation engagement. What should be the approach of CAP for performing the engagement? MNC Limited has engaged CLLith to help the company in compilation of financial information. CLLith explained his team members what will be the scope and responsibility under this engagement. The team members have done mostly engagement and do not have exposure to compilation engagement. Discuss the key issues that CLLith should deliberate and guide his team members with respect to engagement and the manner it differ from assurance engagement. Give your views on the applicability of SQC1 to this engagement. Brown Enterprises Limited has huge funds locked up in its trade receivables standing at around 100 crore on 31st December 2023. The management of company want to evaluate the validity of trade receivable to ensure the reliability of financial reporting at the year end. The account reportment has provided a list of trade receivable to the management containing about 1000 names, their balances and contract communication details spread in different parts of the country. The company management has requested C. Kamna to take up this assignment and prepare a report for management in accordance with the professional standards. Despite not being statutory auditor of a company, she decided to accept the above engagement. By explaining the nature of engagement, discuss what whether it was proper for her to accept such engagement, while reporting which precautions should be taken by her so that the readers of report do not misunderstand its scope. You have been appointed to compile the financial statement of Kings and Company, a partnership firm. For tax purpose, during the course of your work, you discovered that the standards on pointing out the sum of the partners of King and Company inform you that it is outside of your scope. since you are not conducting an audit of the said figure duly certified by the firm should be accepted comment. तो हम tacit understanding तो पढ़ लेते हैं. अब जो जो question हमने यहाँ पे दिए वो पढ़ लेते हैं, and we will conclude this chapter as well. So as per SRS 4410, that is nothing but the compilation engagement is an engagement in which the practitioner applies accounting or financial or reporting expertise, जहाँ पे एक practitioner apply करेगा अपना accounting financial reporting expertise ताकि वो management को मदद कर सके, assess कर सके preparation and presentation of financial information of an entity in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework और issue कर पाए report. जो मैनेजमेंट है वो रिक्वेस्ट करेगा प्रोफेशनल अकाउंटेंट को पब्लिक प्रैक्टिस टू असिस्ट द प्रिपरेशन एंड प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ एन एंटिटी. फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन दैट इज द सब्जेक्ट ऑफ कंपाइलेशन एंगेजमेंट में भी रिक्वायर फॉर वेरियस पर्पस इंक्लूडिंग कैसे वो कंप्लाई करेगा मैंडेटरी पीरियडिक फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग रिक्वायरमेंट व्हिच इज एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन लॉ एंड रेगुलेशन इफ एनी for purposes unrelated to mandatory financial reporting under relevant law and regulation, including, for example, for management and those charged with governance prepare on a basis of appropriate for their particular purpose such a preparation of financial information for internal use, for periodic financial reporting which is undertaken for external parties under a contract or other form of agreement, such as financial information which is provided to a funding body to support the provision or continuation of grant, for transactional purpose, for example, to support a transaction which involving the changes to the entity's ownership of financing structures such as for merger or acquisition. Now that is the next one, that is assurance engagement. Assurance engagement एक ऐसी engagement होती है, पहले हमने बताया कि क्या है. Assurance engagement क्या होता है in which a practitioner expresses a conclusion which is designed to enhance the degree of confidence of the intended users that the responsible party about the outcome of evaluation or measurement of a subject matter against criteria. It means that the practitioner gives an opinion about what are the specific information due to which the users of information are able to make confident decisions knowing well that the chance of information being incorrect or is diminished. A compilation engagement is not an assurance engagement. A compilation engagement does not require the practitioner to verify the accuracy and completeness of information which is provided by the management for the compilation or otherwise to gather the evidence to express an audit opinion and to review conclusion on the preparation of financial information. SQC1 is applicable to all engagement and quality control standards. Since SRS 4410 is one of the engagement and a quality control standard, SQC1 apply to firm in respect of firm's compilation engagement to which is covered in related services. The above situation involves an engagement to perform the agreed upon procedure. In such an engagement, the auditor is engaged by the client to issue a report of actual findings, which is based on specified procedures performed on a specified subject matter of a specified element, account, or items of financial statement. The management has requested Sri Kamna to take up the assignment and prepare a report for management. In accordance with the professional standards, such a type of engagement and its reporting falls in a purview of SRS 4400. This refers to the auditor in SRS 4400 does not imply that a person performing the related service need necessarily be to the auditor of financial statement. Hence, a person performing the related service need not necessarily be the auditor of entity's financial statement. Therefore, it was proper for Sri Kamna to accept the above engagement. While reporting, she should take following precautions so that the readers of report do not misunderstand its scope. A statement that the procedure performed do not constitute either an audit and review and such as no assurance is expressed. A statement that the auditor performed additional procedures and auditor review other matters might have come to light what would have been reported. A statement that the report is restricted to those parties that have agreed to the procedures to be performed. A statement when applicable that the report relate only to the element, account, item or financial and non-financial information which is specified and it does not extend to the entity's financial statement taken as a whole. As per SRS 4410, compilation engagement. If the practitioner is unable to complete the engagement because management has failed to provide the records, document, explanation, other information including the significant judgment as requested, the practitioner shall withdraw from the engagement and inform management and TCWG of the reason for withdrawing. If the practitioner become aware during the course of engagement that the compiled financial information does not adequately refer to describe the applicable financial reporting framework, amendment to the compiled financial information are required for the financial information need not to be materially misstated. The compiled financial information is otherwise misleading. The practitioner shall propose the appropriate amendments to management. If management decline or does not permit the practitioner to make the proposed amendment to the compiled financial information, the practitioner shall withdraw from the engagement and inform management and TCWG of the reason of withdrawing. If withdrawal from engagement is not possible, the practitioner shall determine the professional and legal responsibility applicable in the circumstances. The practitioner shall obtain a knowledge from the management and TCWG as appropriate. They have taken responsibility for the final version of compilation financial information. So with this, we have completed the entire chapter. Hope that you find the video worthy to you as